In their march towards civilization, people in India had to pass through various stages of evolution, like their counterparts in many other countries of the world. The first was the stage of food gathering and hunting, when people had to wander from place to place in search of food. Some sites of these people have been found in vast area excepting the Gangetic Valley, the Adamgarh and Lekhania in the Narmada Valley, the Nevasa in Maharashtra in Godavari Valley, the Jalhali in Karnataka in Kaveri Valley. This stage continued over thousands of years up to 10,000 BC. Then come the stage when man became a farmer and a herder of animals. They developed the art of agriculture and domesticate animals. Some sites of these people have been found in northwestern part of the country, like Merghar in Balochistan in the province of Pakistan, Burzaham in Kashmir, Surutaru and Dao Jalihading in the northeastern part of the country, Nagarjuna Konda in the Deccan state like Andhra Pradesh, Masaki and Brahmgiri in Karnataka. These were village sites which flourished between 10,000 BC to 4,000 BC. Then come the stage when people in India laid the foundation of cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in the Indus Valley, and later on Patliputra in Magadha in Gangetic Valley. Between 3250 BC to 250 BC. The story of human evolution is still continuing in India to this date. Sources of history. There are two sources of history, literary sources and archaeological sources. Literary sources are the written records and archaeological sources are non-written records. Literary are in three different parts: religious, secular and traveler's account. Archaeological are artifacts, monuments, coins, inscriptions. Historical sources are those sources which enables us to build our past history. Literary sources. We can learn about it from the evidence left by our ancestors. Thousands of years ago, when there was no paper to write on, our ancestors wrote their records on various objects like the dried bhojpatras, the bark of the trees, plates of copper, or even solid rocks, pillars and stones on which they inscribed important events of that time. The handwritten records or accounts of contemporary events that help us in knowing our past are called manuscripts. Remember, by script we mean the form of writing a particular language. Myths, legends and folklores sometimes provide us information about customs, religion, belief and culture of people. Then comes the religious literature. There are three books in it: Hindu books, Buddhist books and Jain. Hindu books constitute the Vedas, the Brahmanas, Aryankas, Puranas, Upanishads, Ramayana and Mahabharata. In Buddhist books there are Tripitakas, Jatkas, Dipvamsa, Mahavamsa, and in Jains there are Angas. The Vedas throw light on life and culture of Aryans. Ramayana and Mahabharata, which are the two great epics, gives information about social and political life of Aryans of epic age. Puranas, which are totally 18 in number, though full of mythology, gives information about historical dynasties and their rulers. Tripitakas and Jatkas of Buddhist and Anka stains contain references to the contemporary society and the political and the economic conditions of those days. Secular or historical literature. Arthashastra by Kautilya gives us information about Mauryan administration and contemporary society. Mudra Rakshaka by Vishakha Datta gives information about Mauryas overthrew Nanda, like how Mauryans overthrew Nandas is described in Mudra Rakshaka. Another book, Harsh Charitra and Abdul Fazal's Akbarnama, gives accurate and valuable information regarding her and his conquests and administration. Raj Tarangini by Kalhana gives us history of Kashmir from 12th century AD. Dramas of Kalidas are Shakuntala, Meghaduta and Malvika Agnimitra, which throw light on the social life of people and in that age, also on the early Sanghas. Panini's Ashtadhyay and Patanjali's Mahabhashya are some literary works. Traveler's account. Greek and Romans, Chinese and Tibetans, and Muslims. Because he is the father of history, the Greek historian, he wrote a book called The Histories, in which he gives the information about the Perso-Greek War and the political connection of the northwest India with Persia in 5th century AD. Then comes Megasthenes. In his book Indica, he gives information about Mauryan administration, society and geography and products of India. He was an ambassador, a traveler and an observer. Fact file. Why do some travelers go to distinct lands? Some people travel to distinct lands in search of livelihood and better service opportunities, while others travel to avoid natural calamities like earthquake and floods. Merchants travel with caravans to sell their valuable articles at high prices, while religious leaders travel for preaching their own faith and bettering humanity. Certainly, some conquerors march to other lands to conquer them and win military laurels. Last but not the least, there were certain persons who went to distinct lands driven by the spirit of adventure. Similarly, the Chinese pilgrims, especially Fa Hin, who came in 399 till 414 AD. He gave description of Patliputra and Gupta administration. Hyun Sam, who stayed in India from 629 till 45 AD. He left account on political, social and religious conditions of India towards the 17th century AD. It Singh, who stayed in India from 673 till 95 AD. He came in search of Buddhist literature but left accounts on social, religious and political conditions of India. Archaeological sources will be continued in the next part. Thank you for watching.